Well, no sense in walking any further. Just 2 rows over in the cleans. It's a Nissan Rogue. It's got 18,000 miles on it. It's really slim pickings over at PC. I got a feeling they would probably want that right there, right now. I mean, I could just take it to the flip ramp, but somehow I got a feeling they'll appreciate it if I get this over to PC. Channel 66, Watercolors. It's one of the jazz stations. Occasionally I hear stuff I like over there, but mostly it's stuff I find boring. Outlaw Country, Lucinda Williams, Car Wheels on a Gravel Road. Ever heard this before? Not bad. One car in the maintenance line over at Hertz, but a bunch of returns, so I should probably get over there and try to pull all my maintenance cars to the wall. I don't need to really focus on getting them down to the maintenance lines because the shop has plenty of work to do right now. This song's starting to sound a little bit too much like a cliche. Wow. I'm literally putting this in the same space that I just put that brand new Hyundai in. Yeehaw. Stop beeping. Just scored my first unopened bottle of water. Always makes me happy when I get some of those. It's like one of the few perks of this job. Alright, trying to see how I like it. This is some kind of a large-ish Jeep SUV. I didn't notice what it was. Some tunes on here. Connect a Bluetooth audio device. I don't want to do that. I just want some radio. Kevin Gates. That'll work. Alright, we got car washers doing up-downs. One of them just walked in front of me, and the up-down crew just jumped out in front of me. It's like Anthony leading this up-down crew. Or not. No, there's another lead in the driver's seat of the van. Couldn't tell who it was. Anthony just hopped out of the van and walked elsewhere. So I said I was going to work on getting Hertz stuff to the wall, but I decided I better grab the first one that I saw, which is this one, which is going to the maintenance line. Because I really need to get those 2 electric cars off the chargers that I put, the 2 maintenance cars I put on the chargers kind of at the end of the night last night. I feel kind of personally responsible for that, but kind of bewildered that like it never occurred to anybody else that those should be moved back, if not into the lines they were in, into the gatekeeper. But I know a lot of times people, and I do that myself, I take the stance of if I see a vehicle and I'm not 100% what's going on with it, I just leave it where it is. And I am kind of deviating procedure with those. But every manager I've talked to and every like Hertz boy I've talked to about how I've been putting them there late at night thinks it's a brilliant idea. I just don't have everybody on board with it, unfortunately. Not a big deal. I'm sure the shop had plenty of other work to do today, judging by how backed up the lines are right now. Quavo and Future, turn yo click up. Alright. It's got a lot of the cliches in modern hip-hop that I don't really like. Oh, bleh. It's a Grand Cherokee. I'll throw these 2 empty bottles in my recycle area. Usually little contact with guys out of the shop tonight. Not that that's a bad thing, it's just kind of unusual. I said yesterday that there are some Blake Shelton songs that I really dig. This is one of them. It's like a classic country story song. Old Red.
Well, I paid off the guard and I slipped out a letter to my cousin up in Tennessee. Oh, and he brought down a blue tick hound. She was pretty as she could be. Well, they pinned her up in the swampland about a mile just south of the gate. And I take old Red for his ear.
All right, I got one on the maintenance line here over at $1. Come on, somebody, why don't you run? Old Red's itching to have a little fun. Get my lantern, get my gun. It'll have you free for the morning come. Yeah, you know you ain't supposed to go that way.
Now Red got real used to seeing his lady every night. And so I kept him away for 3 or 4 days and
Waited till the time got right.
well, I made my run with the evening sun and I
Still haven't marked the one down here.
As I was headed north to Tennessee and old
Red was heading south. Come on, somebody, why don't you run? I don't sing this one for karaoke very often, but when I do, I tend to kick ass at it.
all in the South.
Love got me in here, love got me out.
One of the best storyteller songs in all of country music, Blake Shelton's Old Red. He's going to be here March 23rd.
Nice.
Desert Diamond Arena up in Glendale with Dustin Lynch. Tickets if you want them, BlakeShelton.com. Morgan Wallen, Everything I Love, it's KNIX.
All right, I'm gonna move those 2 that have been sitting at their ramp entirely too long, and then go get that one that's sitting in the $1 maintenance line. Well, I feel a lot better having those out from under the ramp. Not like they're out of cars to wash $1. It just seems silly when we have cars that are misplaced. Doing nothing, not making any progress because somebody probably decided to take a break they weren't supposed to take in it. So this one's not marked, but as soon as I started the car, it was pretty obvious the problem. The tire pressure light came on. So that's fine. Move this down to the tire line. That's exactly where I want to go right now. Some music on. Clock says 6:32. I think that's correct.
It's too soon to trim the tree, but too late
Right.
to trick or treat.
That part. Yeah, I love Doja Cat. I love this song. But it's killing me how pop stations are just playing that song and one other song by her over and over and not touching the rest of her discography. That guy's just too whiny. Tonic, that's so played out. Yeah, this is the second time I've heard this song today. I'm gonna have to pass on it. That'll work. So I got kind of consumed by hearing Blake Shelton, Old Red on the radio. I haven't heard that in quite some time. And definitely a treat to hear it on KNIX. Generally speaking, if I turn on a car and KNIX is the radio station it's on, I'm just changing to something else. Very rarely do they play anything I actually want to hear. So, moving that car from, by the way, I was moving that car. It was a Dodge Charger. That's the one that's like the 4-door Challenger and not quite as fancy, the Charger. Yeah, I was moving that from the glass chips. Still working on that. I think I got maybe 2 or 3 left. Yeah, moving that. And when I went ahead and did the move, I also brought my bottle of water, stuck it in the fridge in my bag. So, also, I did a whole bunch of short moves over there in the yard. Most importantly, I got the 2 cars that I had on the Chargers off. Somebody had already unplugged the Tesla, and I think that's the lady that does the car seats. I want to get to know her. She seems sweet. But she very much keeps to herself. Somebody had taken the Tesla off the Charger. I don't think they were doing it to try to help with that car, though. I think they just needed a Tesla adapter for a different Charger. By the way, not sure if I mentioned it, but we are going to have 12 superchargers. Put the conduit in today, and I can see 12 spots where they're going to be connecting the superchargers at. It's another one of my karaoke jams. I don't usually sing rap, but I kick ass on this song for some reason. This was something I listened to constantly. I'm thinking probably sophomore, junior year of high school. Overshot the tire line a little bit. So it kind of feels like nobody's working on tires today. What the hell is this up on the dash? A map of Rancho de los Caballeros property map. Room 19. Room 119. Key A25. Never heard of this place. Oh, no, I think that's my key to get back to work. So, yeah, normally this time of night, the tire line is steadily losing cars, and it's not tonight, so I'm getting the feeling nobody's working on tires tonight. In fact, I haven't really noticed any cars coming out of the tire line since I've been at work. So this car is in the tire line, but I think it belongs in the pink line, so I'm going to go ahead and move it over there. Mostly I'm just working on bumping up the tire line right now, but this one, not only is it marked for tire pressure, but it also has a one-stop inspect, and I think that takes priority over the tire thing, and that goes in the pink line. You know, I've been thinking about that Suburban that I saw where they had scraped oil change where I'd wrote it off the window and moved it into the windshield line. And I'm thinking, you know, there was enough time that passed, they might have actually done the oil change on it. Or at least, a lot of times they don't actually do an oil change. A lot of times they just check the mileage on it, because these indicators that pop up on the dash are not always correct. But yeah, I think somebody probably, it sat there long enough, I think somebody probably did take some action on it. I still feel like I did the right thing with it. All right, I just got into one of those Jeep Wrangler plug-in hybrids that I like so much. This one doesn't say Willys on the hood. It does say Sahara. Not into Jeeps enough to know the difference, but I dig how there's so many of them that say Willys on them. Okay, that fan needs to stop. Just trying to get the seat positioned here. I already hit the power button, and on these, generally speaking, the engine doesn't come on because the engine only comes on if needed. The rest of the time, this is primarily an EV. Even though we don't treat them as EVs. I do remember one time, forgot how to adjust the seat back. The seat back thing on this one is odd. It's like a little canvas type strap you pull on. All right, why do I have no headlights on? Somebody has it in the off position instead of auto. All right, got that taken care of. So this one's coming out of the windshield chip section. Looks like I have two more to deal with after this. Although one of the ones behind this I think was already here. The other one got put with its nose right up against the street lamp pole. I wonder who the hell keeps doing that. That's annoying as fuck. Oh, there goes the gas engine. So the one that was in front of this is the one that has the chips obstructing the driver's view. So it's in the number one position. I think that's the only one that I'm not moving. So one more of these, maybe two. Oh, sometimes these are super difficult to get the radio on. But it's on a radio, it's on a screen that says AM, FM, Sirius XM, so boom, and it goes to 80s on 8. With by far the most burned out Poison song. Yeah, I don't want to hear that. How about The Bridge? You've been following this vlog for any length of time, you know I love me some Gordon Lightfoot.
Church bell chimed till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend lives on from the Chippewa down of the Big.
I was just playing chicken with the up-down drivers right there. The one in the front did look like he was going to stop if I didn't, but something when Keontae and Andre first started training me to do this job when I was on day shift. So it's always good to just yield to those guys. They're in a hurry. We're not. We're paid by the hour. I mean, they're paid by the hour too, but they're all in a large group trying to stay together, whereas I'm just sort of doing my own thing. I don't think I've ever been in a group. Rare that I'm in a group more than 2. I don't think I've ever been in a maintenance group bigger than 5, and that was a really odd day, and that was, of course, day shift. I like this channel a lot. 27, The Bridge. I think on one radio it popped up with a description of mellow classic rock. This radio doesn't show that description line though. That's another one of my favorite bands of all time, American. Pretty sure I own their entire discography on multiple formats. In fact, I think I even have one of their albums on a CD4 quadraphonic vinyl record. I think I do. Hell, I probably got one of their quad 8 tracks as well. I got a hell of a great European import CD set with their most popular albums. It's like 5 or 6 albums. Remastered on CD and card stock sleeves that are replicas of the original vinyl LP covers, as well as most of those same albums online. I don't spend enough time with my music collection these days. Generally speaking, if I'm at home and I'm alone, I'm working on editing the stupid vlog. Dollar Lot's pretty busy today. At least shouldn't say today. Pretty busy right now. Oh, the car seat gal is over here. I gotta go over and say hi to her on my way to the stairs. After I scrape the markings off this windshield and the window, of course. It really bums me out that they don't charge these plug-in hybrids the way they do the electric vehicles. So I think that would be something to make these a little bit better for the renters, and would certainly be worth charging extra for people who rent them. I probably wasted more time talking to her than I should have, but she's really sweet. Her name's Isabel, and she's a little older than me. Although a lot of times I'm wrong about that sort of thing. All right, 701, jumping in a Ford Escape. Coming immediately, some good tunes, that's nice. It's on Shade 45. Sometimes I hear stuff on this station I like, other times it's not my cup of tea.
You are having a great, phenomenal day, evening, whatever it is, in your respective time zone. That you were chilling, you're doing good. Now, to all my heads who like a little bit of hip-hop history, I want to tell you guys, maybe
she's in a big red truck.
There is a thing called Unsung, a TV show they do on TV One that I enjoy because they do look back on like hip-hop artists, groups, and you know, stuff like that. And
this is making some funky noises. It says brakes screeching on the window.
Salute to DJ Scratch, EPMD, Solid Scheme, DJ Dice, Pete Rock, because that catalog of DOS Effects and their impact with the Iggity style that they did was very dope. If you're gonna watch it, cool. If you're not, let me get
yeah, I was talking to her, asking her if she was down there, down there retrieving car seats, and she said that nah, that was her favorite hiding spot. I thought it was kind of funny because underneath the dollar ramp is a lot of people's favorite hiding spot. Oh yeah, she's taking a smoke break. Actually, I can't recall if she was smoking or not. Maybe just taking a break to chill out, get some fresh air. All right, there goes a van in front of me. Pulling out of Hurt Street Turns. Wonder if they've moved anything to the wall for me yet. There's 3 of them there. All right, this guy's talking way too much for mine. It's another thing on Shade 45. Sometimes there's just too much talk going on. Ooh. I'm hearing a little bit of grinding going on in this car too. That's not good. Yeah, Isabel was telling me that some of the, when I explained to her what it was that I did, she told me that some of the mechanics, when the cars get into the shop, oh my goodness, that is metal on metal. Brakes should never get this bad, especially as much as these vehicles are generally maintained. So as I was saying, she said that sometimes when they get into the shop, the mechanics just get frustrated and cut the straps to get the car seats out. And I told her that, yeah, it kind of threw me last night when I pulled the one out for her, that it was a lot more difficult to remove than I expected, and told her that, yeah, my youngest just turned 14. Although now I'm having a reality check that she turned 14 or 15. Yikes. I should know that, and I don't off the top of my head. It's been that long since I've seen Lily. Dang. I'm out of pink cats down here. So yeah, I told her that yeah, it wasn't that difficult to take a car seat out back when mine were small enough to be in car seats. All I had to do was pull the seatbelt out of it. And she laughed, and well, I told her how old Lily was, or at least how old I think Lily is. It's like, oh, you'll be having grandbabies soon. And I'm like, nah, I don't think so. Wow. That just hurts my soul to hear metal on metal from the brakes like that. Second time I've been driving this car. It's a Polestar 2. You know what? While I'm sitting here, I should go check that car that's up against the pole and see what the deal is with it. I'm in the windshield chip area, by the way. Wow, that other car is not at all what I was expecting it would be. It's got a note in the window, one of the little paper tags. It needs to go to the O-wall. So stop reg ordered, which is short for registration. So yeah, this is my last glass chip going over to $1. It's a good time for it too. $7.16 right now. I am so ready for my lunch break. Surprised I haven't heard from Priscilla yet today. I just had a pretty good conversation with Chris, the shop manager. Today's his 2-year anniversary with Hertz. So I got an update on what's going on with the recall with the Ford Explorers. Apparently they're going to Ford, and Ford is taking care of them, but we're doing them 5 at a time. So that's gonna take a while. I just felt the need to ask him about that because I noticed in the area where we've been putting them the last couple of days that 4 or 5 were removed from the front. So if they're going somewhere out of there, I kind of need to know about it. The steering wheel's sitting too low. Oh, that was awkward. I was wanting to change the station, but in the Polestars, the XM radio and the AM FM radio, to be honest, I don't know if these even have an AM radio, but the XM radio and the terrestrial radio are 2 completely separate apps. So apparently it was on FM. I thought it was on XM, and I hit the XM icon and landed on the Grateful Dead channel. That works. Every time I drive one of these, I just dream about owning one.